single-season goal-scoring record with a hat-trick goal here after winning their 5th straight game here tonight in Tampa Bay.
And he scores! A short-handed goal for Mitch Marner gives Toronto a 2-1 lead. Marner shoots and scores again. Mitch Marner snaps it by Bobrovsky, and just like that, it's 3-1 Maple Leafs. It's 4-1 Toronto. My goodness, it's 5-1 Maple Leafs now.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
Coming up on tonight's podcast, episode number 142, we look back on the Leafs' huge win over the Lightning and a huge blown lead against the Cougars. The Panthers. Matthews ties Rick Vaive's record. Jake Muzz returns to the lineup. Sheldon Keefe makes a couple questionable moves. More load management. And we look ahead to games against the Stars and the Habs. We got a couple segments. We got Just a Tip and Saved by the Stash, plus much more coming up on episode 142. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs Podcast, on Twitter at the Tip In Podcast, YouTube at the Tip In Maple Leafs Podcast. Hit like and subscribe. You can watch the live stream. We're doing this live stream right now. I'm going to turn the comments on to begin with because I always forget to do that right off the bat. So if you want to chime in, go ahead and do that. Dale, how are you on this Wednesday night after a wild time down in Florida?
You can
Just
say
a
that again.
wild
You can
time.
say that again. Oh, good, man. It's all good, brother. But, oh, man, what a disaster last night. It was looking so promising. Promising. And then, this was looking like they were saying the last time a team had gone in to the state of Florida and beat both the Lightning and the Panthers was Colorado, many years ago. It just doesn't happen anymore. That's a tough road trip to go through there, especially Tampa Bay the last however many years, right? So close, but no cigar for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that's true. And you say close, but I mean, let's be honest. Last night it wasn't close at one point.
No, well,
but we will get to that.
Yeah, 5-1. I mean, holy hell, man. It's unbelievable. Really, it is unbelievable. But anyway, what are you going to do?
Nothing.
What are you going to do? I mean, it's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things.
No, it's not.
In the grand scheme of things, they got a point. They got 3 or 4 points. But still, you have another game against Tampa remaining. You have another game against Florida remaining. You win that game last night, you got a possible shot at winning the division. Now you have absolutely no shot. So you're going to play in the first round of the playoffs, either the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Boston Bruins, or whoever wins the Metro. You're not playing the Panthers in the first round. That is 100% for sure.
Yeah, it's true. You're either second, third, or wild card.
That's right.
It's basically so. Right now, you're fighting for home ice advantage.
You're fighting.
You want second place. Yeah.
Or do you? I mean, pick your poison, I guess. You want Tampa, you want Boston, or do you want probably Carolina?
I don't care who it is. I wouldn't even care if it was Florida. This team looks, to me, I know last night they blew the 5-1 lead, but this team, maybe I'm just on that whole thing again where I'm buying into what they're selling. But I think they can beat Tampa or Boston. Tampa, to win 3 Stanley Cups in a row, to play that much hockey, most teams bounce in the first round after back-to-back cups. You just run out of gas. So, and Boston, it's time to exercise the demons. So bring it on. Bring it on, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, hell, man, whatever. Whoever you're going to play, I guess it'll play out how it plays out. But it's not going to be the Panthers. That's for sure. So we'll see. Boston is an enticing matchup. Tampa Bay, I think they match up well against all of them, but Tampa scares me, obviously. 2-time Cup winner, and Vasilevsky. Would I rather play the Bruins or the Hurricanes? I think, Tampa would be my last choice, without a fucking doubt. I don't think Tampa is as physical as Boston, but out of those 3 teams, the goaltending of Tampa Bay scares me the most. And that's why I would put them. That's why I would put them last. I would rather play the Bruins or the Hurricanes. That's just my personal opinion. But we'll see, man. Vasilevsky, it'll probably end up being Tampa, right?
Yeah, well, no, you know what? It'll probably end up being Boston because that's the way
Maybe.
it goes. That's the way it goes with Toronto. It'll end up being Boston. But listen, on Monday night they played the Tampa Bay Lightning with Vasilevsky and net with a pretty healthy Tampa Bay lineup. They walked away with a 6-2 win.
Yeah, they did, man. They rolled into Tampa. They beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-2. Now, I saw this one coming a fucking mile away, Chad. An absolute mile away. It's game 69 of the season, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Game 69 of the season, basically fucking guaranteed win night. Basically guaranteed fucking win night. And who showed up big time this night? What
Mustache.
a surprise. What a fucking surprise. He had
Tony.
six. Who's the boss, baby? He had Tony Danza on his fucking mind. He rolls into Tampa Bay. He says, Angela, watch this.
It's time to clean. It's time to clean the house, Angela.
It's time to clean the
house.
Clean the pipes.
Clean the pipe. Put his apron on. His rubber gloves. Got in there. Made a little mess.
He was
walked
cooking,
away. Tied to Rick Vaive.
He was cooking a special dinner that night for Angela.
Ooh.
Big time. Fuck, man. You said it like you said it last couple podcasts ago. Wine, dine.
69.
69, baby. So, yeah, Austin Matthews, absolutely incredible in this game. Now, do you want to see this I should probably show you this off the top here. Just let me bring it up for a sec. We'll get to, like, the recap and all that, but obviously he scored a hat trick that night, his 52nd, 53rd, and 54th goals of the season. Now, I just wanted to show, this was the craziest part about it to me, is that he did it. Here, so if you're watching this, you'll be able to see it. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to talk over it. But I'm going to play this just for you, Chad. Now watch this. Hopefully my mic doesn't mute. I think I'll be able to talk over this, so we'll check it out. But take a look at Rick Vaive 40 years ago in this fucking picture right here, okay? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Austin Matthews matched the franchise record for goals in a season exactly 40 years after Rick Vaive first scored his 54th goal of the 81-82 season on April 4th, 1982. Exactly 40 years to the day, April 4th. Isn't that crazy? But what's crazy, the craziest thing about it is, look at those mustaches. Rick,
that's a great mustache.
Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it again, and we'll just talk over it? I better put it up again. Now look at Now this was 40 years ago to the day. Rick Vaive is rocking basically the exact same fucking mustache, and what a Cooper! Look at that Cooper bucket.
Oh my gosh.
I had one of those Cooper buckets. I know you did.
I had a Cooper bucket. I wore it for years. I had a face
those.
mask on it, but then when I played men's league, I just ripped the face mask off. I was total Rick Vaive out there.
I think I had one of those Titan twigs too.
Yeah.
Not those mitts though, not those mitts. But that mustache on Rick Vaive, man, what an absolute beautiful. I did not know that Rick Vaive rocked a stash like that back in the day. Not like that. Like that's basically the same as Austin Matthews.
That's a little dirtier than Austin's, I think.
1984, man. I was just a wee pup at that time.
We didn't even know.
No, did not.
You would have saw it back then and been like, I don't understand the glory of that mustache. But now you do. Now you understand.
I feel sorry for anyone listening to this that wasn't able to see that.
Just Google Rick Vaive 1984.
Man, what an absolute beautiful mustache by Rick Vaive. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting, man. 40 years to the day he ties the record. Like, I thought it might take Austin a little more than, one game on the road trip to tie it. I thought it might take a while to get her cooking, but not with that guy, eh? Not with that guy.
No.
So here we go. Now, this game was exciting, man. Like, it was obviously Tampa Bay. Like, I was excited for this road trip. Felt like playoff games. And they roll into Tampa, and they basically fucking put the boots to them, man. They outshoot them 39-34. And you know what? We were talking about last podcast about, like, who's going to come all over these Cougars. And we weren't sure. But when this game started against Tampa Bay, and the guy who opened the scoring 2 minutes in, down the wing, with the fucking wrist shot, just rips it past Vasilevsky, Seabiscuit, Pierre Engvall, and I thought, oh my God, here we go. This is going to be the start of something absolutely beautiful for Pierre Engvall. He's going to come all over these Cougars. Wrong game. Did not play as well the following night, but that's all right. He opened the scoring 1-0, and I thought, oh, this is going to be, he's going to get a tip in. He might come on a Cougar tomorrow. Didn't happen.
No, it did not happen, but it was a hell of a goal to open things up.
Yeah, it was.
Seabiscuit.
So
the guy's just flying right now. The guy's just flying. I can't believe that we wanted him off this team.
Yeah,
now I don't want him out of the lineup.
No, he's just playing unbelievable, man. Like, he has been absolutely unbelievable. So 1-1 after one in Tampa Bay, and here we go. Opening minute and a half, 2 minutes into the second period, Auston Matthews, little wrist shot over the blue line, kind of dekes the Tampa defenseman, his 52nd goal of the season to make it 2-1 Leafs. Tampa came back, and they end up tying it. This was a little back and forth at that time, and then I'm going to get to Austin's second goal in a second here. So Austin scores his second. We'll get to that. Kerfoot scores. Austin gets the Hattie to tie Rick Vaive in the third period. Marner scores a nice goal later. They end up beating the Bolts 6-2, but we had something happen in this game that has never, ever happened before in the history of this podcast. Do you know what it is?
I don't know.
Dude, on the third goal of this hockey game, they ended up beating them 6-2. On the third goal of this hockey game, Auston Matthews, not only with the tip-in,
he's had plenty of tip-ins.
Not only with the tip-in, but also the game winner. It's
oh my God,
double shot, and the first time in the history of the Tip-In Maple Leafs podcast, we have a double shot, a combo, a tip-in, and saved by the stash in one. Which one do you want to do first? Probably.
Well, let's do just the tip and talk about the goal, and then we'll talk about how it was saved by the stash.
Here it is, just the tip.
Just the tip.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
Now listen. There's not many things in this world as special as a mustache tip.
I don't think there's anything.
There's a few things that you might see out there.
I don't think so. I think this is the most special thing ever.
In the whole world?
In the whole world.
I was going to say, we've seen some pretty glorious tips.
Oh, yeah.
When Mustache does it, it's just, man, it's something else. It's something else.
Yes, it is. Dude,
this one's set up by the Brunt. The Brunt to the Mustache.
Yeah, it was Marner, really, though. It was
Brunt got it going.
He did get it going.
But Marner fed him the pass for the tip.
An unbelievable pass through, and Austin just has his fucking blade right on the tip of the goal crease, and Mitch just hits him. He's like, you know what? I'm getting close to the record here. I better include a tip in somewhere along the way. Obviously.
Absolutely.
So, I'm picturing the goal 55 tomorrow night or Saturday night. Guaranteed tip in 100%. 100%.
100%?
I think so.
100%?
I think 100%.
Okay. If it happens, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you if it happens. But
I can't see it. I can't see it happening any other way. I just can't see. It. He's going to set the all-time record. It's going to go down in the history books forever. This record will never be broken ever again. It'll be broken by him. He'll break his own record.
Right. So what you're saying is, if you want the goal that's going to be watched for the rest of eternity,
yes,
the record-breaking goal, you want it to be a tip-in.
Yes, 100%, big time, yes.
And you know what? If I had to choose, it would be a in-tight, hard tip.
Yeah, that's kind of what this one was. This one was not that hard. It was in tight. It was medium, not super soft, not super hard. It was
one of those tips where he knew the spot. He knew exactly where to put it. It didn't take a couple whacks. It didn't take luck. He knew.
He knew exactly where to put it. So this was great to see. So this was his 53rd. His first goal was his 52nd. This was his 53rd goal of the season. Just unbelievable tip in. So not only a tip in for Mustache for his 53rd, it turns out to be the game winner. They beat the Lightning 6-2. The third goal was a tip in. The third goal, it was saved by the Stash. Why don't we go right to it?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Saved by the Stash.
Cause I'm saved by the It's alright, cause I'm saved by the It's alright, cause I'm saved by the
Stash.
Man, we haven't had one of these in a long time.
It has been a long time, and I'm glad it happened.
A long time. Well,
What
we've
better placed against the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa Bay, a tip in, saved by the Stash.
We have never had this combination before. We've never had this combination before.
Oh, no.
But it's been a while just since we had a Saved by the Stash, a game winner from Austin. Like, he's popping goals left and right. You'd think he'd have a game winner, like, more frequent than this. But unless we just lost track and stopped doing the segment for a while, possibly that might have happened also.
That is probably more likely than he hasn't had a game winner. Is that
we might have forgot about it.
We just forgot about the segment and kept on going.
But usually, I don't know, man. Usually when he's got a game winner, I'm on it. I'm on it. So anyway,
Tampa just gave up at that point.
I don't know.
Look, a Mustache just scored by a tip. It's 3-2.
Well,
Game's
Jesus.
over. Game's over.
Once Slater and Preppy show up, it's basically
Oh,
lights
shit.
out. It's basically lights out. Did I tell you this? I have not been watching the new season of Saved by the Bell. I have not been watching it, but I am aware that Slater and Spano are back together. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, aren't they married or something on the show?
I don't think she was married to someone else when when it first came back, and Slater was dancing around in his spandex trying to wiggle his way back in there.
Is he the gym teacher? He's the football coach or
Yeah,
wrestling? He's the wrestling coach.
Something coach, and she's the guidance counselor, I think. And all of a sudden, Slater fucking weasels his way back in there. He's fully back in. Him and Spano are so excited, and they are just absolutely going wild.
Just can't hide it.
It's great to see that. So anyway, like I said, Tampa Bay, as soon as you see AC Slater and Zach Morris show up in the building, it's fucking good night. Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
It's game over.
For Tampa Bay. So saved by the Stash, Mustache, Austin Matthews with his 53rd goal of the year. Beautiful tip in, the game winner. Absolutely awesome. Anything else you would like to add on that? I'll finish the rest of the game here, but
No, it was glorious.
what else can you say, man? You've been working
not-
overtime,
I've
prep.
been working overtime. We've
So-
been working overtime. This goal is better than the episode when Belding's brother was going to take them whitewater rafting. That's how good this goal is.
It really was.
It's better than that episode.
It really was. So that made it 3-2 at that point. Kerfoot then makes it 4-2, and they just kept on coming. They went to the third period, and Austin Matthews decides to fucking come all over the place. He gets a fucking hat trick goal to tie Rick Vaive. Let's just bring that mustache up once again. He ties Rick Vaive with 54 goals. He's tied for the all-time Leafs record with 54 goals with a hat trick. Like, he just shows up, and he came a night early. That's what happened here. He came one night too early.
Yeah, because the Cougars weren't. You didn't see the Cougars until the next night.
I
Got
know.
a little excited.
He had no come left the next night.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Unfortunate, but
I'm sure it's happened to Rick Vaive. Looking at that picture, maybe
Oh.
not as often, but
I would say so. It's unfortunate he didn't save any for the Cougars because we could have used a little.
we could have used one in overtime.
Could have
Just
used
a
one.
little squirt.
He was all over it though. He was all over it. Like he had chances left and right there. But
Yeah, I thought that game was over in overtime. I thought
So-
Matthews was going to end it and break the record, but anyway,
when
Tampa
he
game.
So when he ties it, when he scores the 5-2 goal for the hat trick goal, and
The 5-2 goal, yeah.
for the hat trick goal for his 54th that ties Rick Vaive, and then a couple minutes after that, he sets up Marner for an absolute incredible goal. I fucking jumped off the couch for this one. Behind the net, finds Mitch out front, and he just fucking buries it. Mitch Marner, holy fucking cow. Unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Every night, you were saying it, like every night these guys are all over the score sheet. Tampa game, 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points for Austin Matthews. 1 goal, 2 assists, another 3 points for Mitch Marner. Like, this is just a daily occurrence.
It is.
A game, multiple points. They're going to blow past 100.
multiple loads every night for this guy. Multiple loads. I hope he saves.
And the
a
brunt
little
is always
for the
there
playoffs.
just to help. Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's about it, man. They beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-2. They looked incredible. I thought Campbell. What do you think? What are your thoughts on Jack Campbell coming off that Philly
Jack
game?
Campbell looked fantastic in the first period, man. When it was 1-1, Campbell made some fucking awesome saves to keep this game 1-1.
He did.
If this had been Jack Campbell early 2022, it might have been 3-1 Tampa at the end of the first period.
Agreed.
Oh.
Agreed.
Yeah, and just one other thing before we go to the Florida game. The defense in this game was stellar. So good. The Bush and Riley, so good. Liljegren and Gio, so good. Even Brody and Hall, just clearing the front of the net, getting to the pucks, getting it out. I don't know what happened to them on Tuesday, but on Monday they had their game going. Well, the Bush wasn't in the lineup.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. So like you said, to recap it, Austin Matthews, 3 goals, 1 assist for a 4-point night. Mitch Marner, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3-point night. Bunting, 2 helpers, 2-point night. Bunch of guys with single digits. A very impressive.
Magnum, a +3.
Impressive. He has just been absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, seriously. But a very impressive win over the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-2. And they gained, they took over sole spot of second in the Atlantic Division. And they were, I believe, I want to say 5, maybe 7 points out of first. I don't know what it was exactly. Going in to play the Panthers, they were maybe 7 points out. I don't know. Now it's out of reach, I believe. But
had they won, they would have. I think had they won, they would have pushed it within 5.
Within 5,
which is doable, but
considering you play them
reach.
Again. But yeah, you're not catching Florida. It's not, dude. We're getting down like 13 games. We're almost down to single digit games left. Like it's the
nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty, big time. Just the sloppy nitty gritty. And anyway, so. Yeah, man. So we go into Florida here, and we were expecting somebody to come all over these Cougars, and they did. Yeah. They came a lot on these Cougars.
One guy was ready.
But let's hang on now 1 second. Now let's go here for just a second. Now, here we go. Okay, Muzz returns to the lineup. So because of this, Sheldon Keefe makes some, I don't know which one to put up. I guess I'll go with this one. Sheldon Keefe makes some questionable lineup moves going into this game.
Big time.
Muzzin is back. So what does he do? Okay, I thought Justin Hall was coming out. 100% Justin Hall. Not Liljegren, but Justin Hall. But what does he fucking do? The team had won 5 in a row. They just beat Florida, Boston, like Winnipeg, Philly. They were fucking looking good. They were on a roll. I don't mind getting Muzzin back in there, but to take Lyubushkin out, who like the team had been playing really well, to take Lyubushkin out, and not only fucking that, but he decides to put Muzzin back with Justin Hall. Like, let's go back to the well on these fucking guys and see if these guys can figure it out when they haven't been able to do anything, either one of them, all fucking season paired together. What the fuck is Sheldon Keefe smoking on this one? You want to help me out here? Am I missing something? What the fuck is he thinking here?
I have no idea. I was so pissed off when I saw the Bush was out. I was so pissed off. I was just like,
doesn't make any sense.
You looked at this defense core, and the Bush is the one you want to take out. It made no sense to me. I'm like, obviously it's Justin Hall. Obviously it's Justin Hall. Or don't start Muzzin. Don't start Muzzin.
Keep him out
in Florida. Start him in Dallas on Thursday.
Wait till they lose a game or something. Don't switch it up.
Well, and last night was such a huge game. Muzzin looked a step behind. I know he scored.
Are you kidding me?
But he looked slow. Justin Hall looked bad. You scrambled the pairings up. Why didn't you just keep it together, get through the Florida game, and then if you want to tinker with things against Dallas, okay. I didn't understand Keefe's thinking last night, and especially with taking out the Bush. If the Bush is out again on Thursday,
we got serious problems here.
I might fucking fly down to Dallas and have a word with Keefe and Engvall's mom. Just see how things are.
Shout out to Engvall's mom. We love that here. But look, man. So speaking of that, like these Cougars, I just cannot get past the fact that the guy that was taken out of the lineup was Lyubushkin. Tampa, like the Panthers aren't an overly physical team, but they're physical enough. You got Marchment running around out there like a fucking maniac, and they've got some guys that, you know, are a little more aggressive. Lyubushkin is one of the only guys on the back end that is like, oh, if a guy's coming across the blue line, Lyubushkin will fucking lay him into the boards.
They play a lot like Toronto. They play a high, up-tempo, fast-paced game. And what stops Toronto are defensemen who stand them up at the blue line and make them dump the puck in. That's what the Bush does. Justin Hall, honest to God, two Sam Reinhart goals last night in the Florida game. Justin Hall just let him go.
Okay, Chad,
but the Bush, okay, Reinhart was in front of the net. If that's Lyubushkin in front of the net, Reinhart doesn't have his stick free. He's off balance. He can't do it. Hall's just standing there kind of poking him in the bum with his stick. That's not going to do anything.
No, dude. And look, and like you said, it's Muzzin's first game back, so whatever. Like, not going to jump all over Jake Muzzin, but that.
So you can't jump on the fact that Muzzin was put in the Florida game and not held out just one more game. Would it really hurt if he started in Dallas or Montreal on Saturday?
Oh no, dude, I'm all.
Why against the best team in the East?
It doesn't make sense. And with that in mind, you put him back with Hall, a pair that has not worked all season long. It's not just going to fucking magically click into like what it was. It's not. If I see those two guys, okay, I hate to say this, but Justin Hall, man, I'm almost fucking done with this guy.
I am done with Justin Hall.
I am almost fucking done with this guy, man. Like, I've seen enough. Like, I don't okay, you want Muzzin in there? Like, he's slow and we'll see. Hopefully he can find his game. But if you want Muzzin in there, I think he doesn't need to play in your top four. I think he can play 5 or 6, to be honest, at least to start. Ease him back in here. Play him with somebody else, man. Like, play him with somebody else. Like, I don't know, Brody. If you want to keep Liljegren and Giordano together, I like the pair of Riley and Lyubushkin. I like the pair of Riley and Lyubushkin better than I like the pair of Riley and Brody, man.
Yeah. You were saying that last podcast. I'm totally on board with this. It totally makes sense. I did not get it last night. And Justin Hall is the odd man out. I have no, and they were down 6-5 and tied 6-6 last night, and he was on the ice with 2 minutes left. I'm like, Keefe, what have you seen tonight to be like, you know what, that's my guy? Maybe it was an audition. Being like, hey, show us if you deserve to stay in the lineup, if you can handle these playoff type situations. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But he failed if that's the case, because fuck, he sucked.
Dude, like, okay, Hall playing with Brody when Muzzin was out, I thought Hall looked better. Not great, but just better. Better than he did earlier in the season, without a doubt. So here's an idea. Hall should have been out of the lineup, and they should have played Muzzin with Brody, because Brody can handle playing with basically anybody.
Brody makes guys better.
Exactly. So
he could prop Muzzin up. Hall needs someone to make him better. Muzzin was doing that when he was healthy and playing good, but he's not there. Hall needs, when you try and play Hall with anybody other than, Brody or a healthy Muzzin or a Riley or something like that, someone to prop him up, he just looks like a sore thumb out there. Just so bad. I was getting so frustrated at him last night. So frustrated at Justin. I know it's not his fault. It's a team thing that they blew a 5-1 lead. But it just irked me because the game could have went a lot different. And Keefe did that. And I have no idea why.
I don't really know. Yeah, I don't get it either. But I will say this, man. Tomorrow night in Dallas, if Justin Hall is not a fucking healthy scratch and they want to get Muzzin going and all that, Hall needs to be out. I think the D pairs tomorrow night should be Lyubushkin, Riley, Brody, Muzzin, Giordano, and Liljegren. And then when Sandin is ready to go, you figure it out from there. I don't put Hall back in the lineup until there's a fucking injury or something. Like, that's just, I'm done with this guy. I'm basically done with Justin Hall. Like, he can maybe slide back in if, like, it's a back-to-back or there's an injury or something. But other than that, I think you got to start, we're almost down to 10 games left here. You got to start shoring up those D pairs to, like build some fucking chemistry. And I'll tell you what, Jake Muzzin and Justin Hall ain't fucking it. Sorry to tell you. Not happening.
No, it was so frustrating last night, and I'm totally on board with that. Justin Hall's got to be in the press box. He's got to be in the press box.
So do you want to read the header before we get into the game?
Leafs blow huge load and lose 7-6 in overtime. Yep.
So disappointing, man.
It's basically what happened.
Now we've okay,
Bernie agrees. Bernie says agree 100% on the D pairings.
Look,
and I don't think we're alone. I think the three of us and everybody in Leafs Nation is like, that was Keefe's fault last night. The D pairings.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I just do not understand. Like, it's got to be an analytics thing, I guess. Him and Dubas behind their calculators figuring out analytics. What else could it be?
I think he was giving him an audition. I think he's like, we're going to give Justin Hall a chance to show us he deserves, like, he can do this in the playoffs. And he sucked. Okay,
and arguably still had first place in the Atlantic in their grasp. Not the game to fucking be figuring it out.
I agree, yeah.
It's just not the right timing. It just wasn't. But anyway, so quickly, once we get to 5-1, we'll take a different tone here. But Reinhart opens the scoring. Florida goes up 1-0. Shalgren gets the start in this game. We'll get into him in a little bit here too. So Nylander ties it at 1. So it's 1-1 after 1. And then the Leafs just start coming all over the place in the second period. Led by, I did not really see this coming, but I shouldn't be surprised either. Who had the biggest load for the Toronto Maple Leafs last night? Little Mitch Marner.
Yep.
That short-handed goal to open the second period, holy fucking shit. That's probably the nicest goal Mitch Marner's ever scored in the NHL.
That was so good.
Unfucking believable. That goal. It was unbelievable. Short-handed, just he blew past everybody and deked Bobrovsky right out of there. He basically sent Bobrovsky out of the fucking game. 30 seconds later, they're on the power play. Mitch Marner gets the fucking puck again. He rips it home. The quickest 2 goals on a shorthanded goal and a power play goal ever in the history of the National Hockey League. I think the previous record was held by Mario Lemieux, and it was like 30 some odd seconds. Mitch beat him by like a few seconds and now holds the record for the quickest shorthanded goal and power play goal quickest.
That's some good company to be in.
You think so?
Mario.
Holy fuck. So Mitch Marner, I don't know what he did in that first intermission, but he had Cougars on the mind, and he came out in the second period, and he just started coming everywhere. And it was fucking impressive, man. Like, I hope this guy saves some load for later, because he's been shooting loads. He's been shooting loads everywhere.
Well, you watch your buddy go into Tampa. Massive load all over the place. Everybody's talking about it. Headlines all over. And you're like, that's true. You know what? I got the Cougars in town tomorrow. I'm going to do the same thing.
That's true. That is true. I didn't think of that. So Mitch Marner's 2 goals makes it 3-1 Leafs. Colin Blackwell gets another one. This is at the 2:04 mark of the second period. It's now 4-1. Like,
if you took a shit, you missed like all the Leafs goals.
Within the first 2 minutes of the second period, the Leafs scored 3 goals to make it 4-1. Then Muzzin at the 8:40 mark, he comes ripping down the fucking wing. He pops one top shelf. And like Muzzin scores in his return, like you said, and that makes it 5-1 at that point. And that was all she fucking wrote. The beginning of the end. Because what happened right after that? These fucking Cougars, man. These fucking Cougars decide to start coming. They decide to start coming themselves. They said, you think you're going to do all the coming here? I don't think so. We're going to do a little coming ourselves.
Yeah. And you got to be careful about that. You have to be careful. Like, okay. One Cougar may get one off. Maybe 2. Maybe 3. You start getting 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's just an avalanche. of Cougar loads all over the place. Got to be very careful, man. Got to be very careful.
It is, man. Now look,
Cougars.
Once the Cougars started, we're going to get into the Cougars comeback and how it all unfolded. But before we do that, maybe we should take a second here to have a little word from one of our newest sponsors.
That's right. We're going to take a moment here. We'll have a word from our sponsor, and we will be back to get the Cougar load.
Hi, Ed Belfour here, Belfour Spirits.
Making some of the best whiskey in the world. We've been at this for 5 years, going on 6 years. And this is family operated. We go to work every day. We work on every aspect of this business. We take great pride, at watching people drink our whiskey and that big smile on their face. Like, wow, this is really, really good. That's what's so awesome is when you see those people loving your whiskey. And it's like when I played a game and at the end of the game, they're chanting my name. We just want to make really great tasting whiskey, and that's our goal. And, as it ages, it's only going to get better. We're very proud of that.
Buy a bottle and I'll sign it for you. Buy two, I'll help you drink the second one. Have a great day.
Classic Belfour Whiskey. The Tip and Maple Leafs podcast brought to you by Belfour Whiskey.
Spirits.
But
it is rye whiskey, but Belfour Spirits. Wow, man, love that. Love having Eddie involved. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, he has no idea, but we're involved.
He would love it, though. But the Cougars start coming themselves, and the Leafs just had no answer once the Cougars started coming. I'm not going to go over every Florida goal. If you watch the game, you know what fucking happened here. But Källgren ends up, so they come right back, tie it, you could see it coming. You could just see it coming. And once they started coming, there was no stopping it.
Oh, no.
So
once they started penetrating and putting the puck on the net, that was it.
That was it. So,
it's all over.
You know what, man? They, so it gets it tied at 5, and then Florida comes all the way back and take a 6-5 lead. The Leafs end up tying it at 6. Tavares gets one late to send it to overtime. But Källgren takes a shot up high somewhere late in the second period. And it looked to me like it kind of caught him in the
collarbone.
Little bit, it didn't look to me like it caught him in the neck. It's not what I saw.
No, it kind of looked like, just upper chest, closer to the collarbone area. I thought at first it hit his head because his helmet popped off. But
I thought he took his helmet off.
Well, no, watching it live, his helmet came off, and I was like, oh, he must have got the puck in the head. But when they showed the replay, you're right, it was a weird location, but he seemed to be in a lot of pain.
Yeah. Now, do you think this was O-Dog mentioned this too? Do you think he was he lets in an absolutely fucking horrendous goal, right? What was
Brutal.
What?
It was the 5-3 goal.
Ratko Gudas, shorthanded. Absolutely horrendous goal. Yeah. You haven't seen a goal like that, and I thought fucking Peter Mrazek was back in net. It was absolutely brutal.
In the NHL, that goal should never go in.
No.
There are a lot of goals you say, oh, that happens once in a while. That does not happen once in a while.
No. Peter Mrazek. He looked like Mrazek out there. I thought, I had to do a double look. Wait a second, is this fucking Mrazek or who back or what's going on?
So what did O'Neill say?
Well, he said it looked like he didn't want to say whatever, but he said it looked like maybe he sensed what was coming. The onslaught attack from the Cougars was nonstop penetration, and he just was like, maybe I should pull the chute here.
Sorry. Get out?
Yeah, sorry, Jack, but this one's on you, bud. I don't know. That's probably not accurate. And then Keefe said in his postgame that he was considering pulling him anyway, but once he could have gone back in or whatever, but once Jack went in, he didn't want to take him out. Now, I thought Källgren, honestly, played pretty well in the first period of this game. I thought he played well, man. It was 1-1 after 1. He had made some big point blank saves in that first period. Up to that Gudas goal, I thought Källgren was playing a good fucking game.
Yeah, and there was no defense in this game.
Oh, no chance.
It was a lot of 2-on-1s and odd man rushes and just really good scoring chances. And he played amazing in the first period for the fact he's never played these guys. Probably the toughest team he's had to play. He didn't play Florida the first time, did he?
No, Mrazek did.
Yeah. So I give it to you. Maybe I could see that, he saw the pressure cooking. He saw the Cougars coming and was like, I got to get out. I got to get out of here. But for Campbell to come in cold against the Florida Panthers, I mean, can you imagine how mentally checked out he was when it was 5-1?
Well, yeah, and he's just fresh back off a groin injury too, right? So
he just played the night before, and he played on Saturday. So now you just played him basically 3 games in 4 nights.
I know. So he can't be playing that Dallas game. No way.
No way. You got to throw in Hutch if you have to. Yeah, throw in. We knew it was going to come eventually. So
I think Keefe said Shalgren's good to go. So
he is, okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure it'll be Shalgren. If Campbell's in net against Dallas, it makes absolutely no sense. I don't even know if I'd play him back home against Montreal. Maybe I would. I guess probably against Montreal. But you got to give him a little bit of break here. You can't just rush him back and he's playing every night, especially if he didn't get thrown in cold into the Florida game, maybe that's a different story. But because he had to come in and he was getting fucking peppered with shots.
Oh, my God.
Like you said, no fucking defense. So,
and the defense you had in front of you was fucking terrible.
Yeah. So, anyway, it was absolutely brutal. So, anything else on this Florida game here or what?
No.
Well, the Leafs blow their 7th game when holding a 4-1 lead this season. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
That's not the right stat. That's not. Sportsnet put out a stat. The Leafs blow their 7th game when holding a 4-1 lead since Game 7 of the 2013 playoffs first round. Okay, that's going back. That's not how. I didn't mean to bring that up. That's not the stat. I thought.
I was going to say that stat seems a little.
Yeah,
a little far-fetched.
Yeah, no. So, I don't know, but they have blown a lot of leads this season, and I don't know how many exactly, but I guarantee this is the first 5-1 lead. I don't think they blew some smaller leads earlier in the season, 3-1 and such, but 5-1, man. 5-1? Don't love that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
But anyway, so the fucking Cougars get it done. They come back. They beat the Leafs 7-6 in overtime. Huge night by Marner, though. 2 goals, 2 assists. Matthews had 3 assists. He did not get the record-setting goal, so it is still yet to come.
In overtime, I thought he was going to get it, man. I thought he was looking for it. He was buzzing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He had tons of chances. He was all over it.
Just didn't happen.
Florida, there was one point in this game where the shots were so heavily in favor of the Florida Panthers. Florida ended up out shooting them 49-35. Just fucking nuts, man. But anyway, I don't know what else to add. They get 3 out of 4 points. It sucks that they didn't end up getting all 4 and inch a little closer to the Panthers / Cougars. But what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah. I mean. If you look back at its last little while, I mean, they beat Tampa, they beat the Bruins, they beat Florida at home, they taken Winnipeg, they beat Philadelphia. They got 3 of 4 in the Sunshine State. That's not a bad run.
Oh no, of course, but just the way it ended, right?
They blew the 5-1 lead. Everyone was shitting their pants like it was the end of the world. But it's whatever, man. They could have won last night and still not won the division. So.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Anything else on that game, or get to a couple other things here?
Yeah, let's get to a couple other things.
Okay, well, so it's all over then. That's it for that. Good, pretty successful road trip overall so far, I would say. Dallas coming up here. So their next game, they're second in the Atlantic Division. They sit right now, going into action on Wednesday night. Now their next games against the Dallas Stars on Thursday and back home against the Habs on Saturday. We'll see what happens with the goaltending there. I'm not sure what I would do other than just go with Shalgren against Dallas. Even Hutch if you have to, but not Campbell. That is for sure.
Yeah, guaranteed.
But he might want to play that game though, because was he not drafted by the Dallas Stars?
I don't care. He just played played 3 games in 4 nights. Like you said, he's got a groin that's not really good right now. So
you're right. Now, I didn't get to this during the game, but I'm going to get to it now. So what do you think about this? Is this a thing or is this not a thing? I'm going to put it up and you tell me if this is a thing.
More load management.
Now,
like, what do you mean? Is it a thing or isn't it a thing? I mean, it's a thing.
Against the Cougars, Wayne Simmons was not dressed. So Spezza works his way back into the lineup. Spezza didn't play against Tampa Bay. They went with Clifford, Blackwell, and Simmons. Now, against the Cougars, the following night, the back-to-back, Simmons takes a seat. They go with Clifford, Blackwell, and Spezza. So do you think they're just like going to alternate? Like, are they going to alternate Spezza, Simmons, and Clifford in and out of the lineup?
Yeah.
Saving loads here? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, now.
Like, just taking the old guys' loads and just holding them back?
For at least down the stretch here, and then they'll like kind of have their fourth line set by the playoffs. But like Simmons has been a healthy scratch a few times in the last couple of weeks.
We just got a question. If everyone, I'll put it up here. If everyone is healthy and the playoffs start tomorrow, who's your fourth line? And they also said any chance Matthew Nyes signs after his college season and gets a look. I don't know about Matthew Nyes, but fourth line when the playoffs start.
Okay, well,
I don't know. What would you do?
I heard today that Matthew Nyes might possibly be interested in another year of college or university in the States. So if that's the case, he's not going to sign. So I would say no on Nyes, and maybe on Nyes, but I'm not going to include him at this point. And the guy has no NHL experience anyway. So my fourth line looks like this. It's Spezza, it's Blackwell, and then I'm alternating Simmons and Clifford.
So you want sort of the Simmons or Clifford type player in your lineup every night.
Yeah. Do you need both of them? Maybe not.
No, you don't need both.
You could alternate like every night one of them plays, the other night the other one plays. Like maybe Simmons will get the majority of the load come playoff time, but see, and I'm like Cache.
Is Cache coming back?
I don't think so. There's been
if Cache comes back. Yeah, you're right. He's not coming back. But if he did come back, that would pump somebody from the third line down to the fourth. That would make a whole new ball game.
That guy's got to be very close to considering retirement at this point, I think. Like, I don't know how severe his past head trauma concussions were in the NHL. I believe they were pretty severe. So you can't keep taking headshots. You just cannot fucking do it. Like, I don't think we see Cache again. That's my opinion. I'm not a fucking doctor. I've played one on TV before, but
you have.
But
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. Dale played Dr. Quinn's side boyfriend. So she would come into the office and she'd be like, "How many patients we got?" And then Dale would come up behind and just be like, "Oh, excuse me." Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet gig.
Yeah, it was a great gig. But so look, like, what do you think? Cache, like, he's probably not coming back, right?
He's probably not coming back, and even if he does, can you count on him?
I don't think so. So let's
probably play 2 games and get hurt. He's like Mrazek. You can't count on him.
Let's just play hypothetical here. If Cache was to come back, then what do you do? Then
probably Simmons and Clifford are both out. Yeah.
Because the way Blackwell plays, like, he's in for me.
Yeah, me too. And Spezza has got to be in that playoff time. The way he takes faceoffs and plays the game.
100%. But I think you need a Clifford or a Simmons in there. I don't think you need them both, like you said, but I think you got.
But who would you take out off that third line? I mean, right now your third line is Camp, Engvall, and Nylander.
Well, no, I'm not moving anybody there. I'm going up forward basically without Cache, like, in the picture. That's just what I think. And
Blackwell's your new Cache.
Basically, that's why
Blackwell's
they
your new
made the
captain.
trade. I'm sure
That's why
Dubas
they made the trade.
I'm sure Dubas knew like this guy's not coming back. Like,
And he gives you the exact same thing. He gives you a little spark. He gives you a little energy. He can score every now and then.
He does.
And he doesn't have sort of the injuries. Like casually, this goes back not before Toronto. What did he play last year in Boston? He only played like a few games, and then he was out the whole season.
Less than 15 games, I believe.
Yeah,
so yeah.
I wouldn't count on it. But anyway, fourth line for me, Cachet, like no Cachet. I probably have about the same. I would have Spets and Blackwell, and then I would probably go Simmons more than Clifford. I think Clifford looks very, like you saw last night against Florida, he cannot keep up. I think Simmons is better in those situations, but who knows?
Yeah.
And we got a question about Nick Robertson, but okay. I don't know if he's.
Well, I was going to bring something up. I mean, okay, so you've seen Ambrose, whatever. He didn't play last night against the Panthers, but he only got in there because he got in again because Nylander was sick.
That's the reason they lost. They didn't have a Brusier.
Yeah, of course. But look, like I think just giving the kid a couple games and whatever, like they just recently signed him and all that. I was going to mention this too. Well, okay, well, what's the comment about Nick Robertson? Just in general, like how do you get him?
Yeah, what about Nick Robertson?
I think it's barring injury at this point for Robertson.
Yeah, I'm just building my fourth line on what they have right now. So
you're not moving anybody out of that top six for Robertson currently. But given Ambrose or whatever, a few games, like I don't mind that. But should he really be playing over Nick Robertson? I don't think so.
No.
So I get it kind of. If the idea was just give him a look here and there, whatever, a game or two, fine. But send that kid to the Marlies and call Robertson up. Or maybe you don't call Robertson up. But like if you're going to, there's no spot for Robertson right now. But I'd be playing Robertson.
Then there shouldn't be a spot for Bruce.
And no, but that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know why Ambrose is playing over Robertson. I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Another questionable choice from Keefe and Dubas. I guess they just wanted to get a look and see, right? That's probably it.
Well, and it's probably one of the things to get them to sign with you with these college players is, look, we'll let you play right away. You can have a few games in the NHL right away and test your feet.
Okay. But okay. No guarantees there though. Like fuck, like.
No, I always wonder about those guys, like why they want to sign on a team so stacked with forwards. If you wanted to make the NHL, wouldn't you sign with the team that has like no forward depth and has to play you? Or do you just want to sign with a good team because it may make you look good? I don't know.
I
always wondered about that.
Well, was he drafted by the Leafs though?
Well, he was a college signing,
or
wasn't
undrafted. He? I don't know. Like Nyes was drafted by the Leafs.
Yeah, Nyes was drafted. I didn't think a Brusier was. Maybe he was. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was just a college signing.
No, you might be right. I'm not 100% sure on that. Anyway, so anything else you want to get to before we bounce out of here?
No, not too much. I mean, it was a good week. If we can all just settle down and look past the 5-1 lead that they blew. It was a good week. 3 out of 4 points. They've been on a hot winning streak. Auston Matthews is going to break the record, and Auston Matthews is going to break 60 goals this season. Mitch Marner is going to break 100 points. We are watching history in the making. Toronto Maple Leaf history. 104 years in the league. History is being made right now. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, these two, like, hopefully they carry it over to the playoffs. But, like, you're right. Like, Auston Matthews is now sitting at 95 points. He's going to blow past 100. And Marner has got 88. He's going to 100 as well. Without a doubt in my mind. So, yeah, man. I mean, overall, the Leafs have been playing well. Need to tighten up a few things here and there. Hopefully Jack can continue to build. I think he's looked impressive in the games that he's played.
And Keefe's got to start making some better decisions.
Some better decisions by the
Justin Hall's got to go to the press box. The Bush has got to be in there. And I'm not just saying that because of the Florida game. If you listen to this podcast from day one, I've been calling for Justin Hall. I've been saying Justin Hall's not a top 4 defenseman. Never has been, never will be.
No, 100% with you, man. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm basically fucking done with this guy, 100%. So a couple quick things then before we go. Quickly, I would like to, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Dougie Gilmore, killer, 93, is doing a meet and greet. Did you see this?
No, where's he doing it?
Doug Gilmore is doing a meet and greet on Saturday, April 30th, a place called Certified Sports Memorabilia. It's in Concord, Ontario. Saturday, April 30th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pricing, one item signed plus a photo. That's the best part about it, man. $69.99. One item signed plus a photo from Dougie Gilmore, $69.99. Tell me Dougie doesn't know what's up with setting the price exactly at that, right?
Oh, he knows. He knows. He could have got more. He could have got more.
Well, now one item
but he
signed.
Wouldn't go any less.
Listen, he won't go any less. One item signed plus a photo, $69.99. Three items signed plus a photo, $93.93. So he likes to keep it. He's all about the numbers. He loves that. So
you're telling me like 93.93? If 93.93 was picked because of his number, then we know why 69.99.
Think about it. I'm so very surprised it's not 69.69.
69, yeah. I almost said that when I repeated it.
Anyway, so one item plus a photo. I'm considering it, but I probably won't go. But the price is right, $69.99. But for tickets, go to DougGilmore.com. Here's the thing. The numbers keep on coming. Limited to only 193 fans. This guy just won't quit with the fucking numbers.
So 93.93 for package number 2. Yes. Only 193 fans.
Yes.
And if you just want package number 1, $69.69.
That's right. And then when this whole thing is done, he's going to take the wife home, and then it's full on $69.
$69.69.
That's right.
With 93 while he's wearing his 93 jersey.
It's going to be $69.93 later that evening once he gets home with the missus. So anyway, DougGilmore.com for tickets. Limited to only 193 fans. Do not miss it in the Concord, Ontario area. So I thought we'd give a little shout out to Doug Gilmore. Now, just before we go, Chad, I will say, exciting time. It's almost NHL playoff time. The weather is starting to turn, kind of. It's still kind of been shitty, but spring is right around the corner. It's officially, technically spring, but the nicer weather.
I saw like a woman, like, you know how like when spring comes, girls start wearing less clothes?
Love that.
I saw a girl. I just saw a girl in shorts. I almost drove off the road. It's just that's how it is in Canada. The second you start to see skin, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, man. So, look, NHL playoffs right around the corner. The Toronto Blue Jays are home in Toronto, and they play their home opener on April the 8th. And not only that, but tomorrow, Thursday, April 7th, opening round of the Masters, and I fucking love it. That is the Masters weekend to me is like the official start of like, here we go, the nice weather is coming and everything is turning up fucking gravy. So
Tiger's gonna show up and he's gonna play.
Oh yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go, but it's gonna be an absolute shit show. Did you see some of the practice rounds? People following him around just on the practice rounds?
I know, the poor guy.
You would have thought it was like the final, like Sunday at the Masters.
I know.
It was fucking nuts, man.
Because he won't just announce, I'm playing.
Well, he did. He has said it now, I believe.
Yeah, but no, he all week he's like, I'm just practicing.
Yeah.
They're seeing I'll be a game time decision. I'll be a game time. Like, what do you expect? All the reporters are just going to wait for him. They're just watching. And
yeah.
Anyway, for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, do you have anything else?
No, man. So, no, just Dallas on Thursday, Montreal on Saturday. We'll see what's up with the defense pairings and who's going to be playing in net. And hopefully they get a couple more wins and just keep this thing building towards the playoffs.
That's what we got. That's what we got. And listen, anything that you took away from this week, I hope you learned your lesson about coming Cougars. Okay? That's the only thing I hope you took away from this week. For the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter on the Tip In podcast. Check out our YouTube page at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe, and then you can watch our live streams. We're going to be doing all our podcasts on live streams. You can find us on Twitch at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast if you want to watch us there. And until next time, we will.
Hey, now don't forget, we're not done with these Cougars yet. We're going back to Florida later in April for another matchup with the Cougars. So before all is said and done, somebody else will be coming on those Cougars.
Will this be the first time we play the Cougars where we don't blow our loads the night before? We have a rest day before we see them?
I don't have the schedule in front of me anymore.
Because every time
it's
been the second night of a back-to-back.
I don't think it's a back-to-back this time, so we're going to be fully rested and fully loaded, guaranteed. Someone is coming on those Cougars. We're not done with those Cougars yet. We will catch you Sunday, a little podcast on Sunday after the Dallas and Montreal game.
Yep, be back here Sunday. We'll set the time, and you check out our Facebook page for what time, but we will do in the live stream and the podcast Sunday. We will catch you later, everybody.
Watch out.
Stopping by.
Watch out, Cougars. We're coming for you. Don't you fucking worry. We're going to come for you yet. Catch you later.